So I'm going to show you a little bit about what is extremely exciting, I believe, about this new app I'll be releasing basically within the next week or two. We are sort of at the finish line now. A couple of beta tests left to do, a couple of little tweaks to get going, and then we are going to be releasing this thing out to you guys. And by the way, it's going to be called Sync Match. I don't know if I've publicly announced that, but that is the name of the app. And essentially what's powering Sync Match is the data that you see on your screen right now. So I'm just going to give you a little behind the scenes as to why I've been so excited about this app and why I can't wait to get this data into your hands, because once you have access to this kind of information, you'll see once it's organized and clearly presented to you and also tagged, and then allow you to upload a track of yours to match and pair with all of these tracks that have recently been placed, you'll understand very quickly why this is going to be a game changer for us in the sync licensing business. So what you're looking at here is essentially a master sheet of every single track that has been placed on 10 very popular TV channels. I basically selected these 10 because they have the highest ratings and they have the most number of original new content, which is where most of our placements come, right? It doesn't make sense to monitor a bunch of reruns. It makes sense to try to find out where are the new placements, as many as we possibly can gather up to get a great sample size for our marketplace, okay? So what you're seeing on the left is obviously these are the placements for Fox, and then you have the date. And I have essentially, if you scroll all the way down to this sheet, we're gonna go all the way to the bottom. We are at 144,000 individual placements that we have picked up, okay, between these 10 channels. And so between all of these, we have got their title. We've got the date that it was aired, of course. We know what album it came from. And we also, more importantly, know, I don't know if you can see the titles on the very top, but one of these says label. Let me find that one. So there you go. You got a label one right here. This is the most important one for us because, yes, many of these are going to be major labels and independent record labels, which is not necessarily immediately relevant for us, but there are many production music libraries that are showing up in these records, and that's obviously what I do. That's what most of my living came from, was getting placements like this, and hopefully most of you are going to want to work with these types of companies to secure your placements. So we're finding out directly. You can see here's Position Music popping up right here. I actually have some tracks with. We have Nova Production Music. There's another production music company. You've got some APM music sub-publishers showing up here, right? So if you scroll down all the way, you will see between basically 140,000 different placements, lots of different production music libraries, okay? Not only do we know, so which channel, which date, what track, how long the placements were, which library supplied that placement, but we also have recordings of the actual placement. So each one of these hyperlinks actually will allow you to listen, MP3 format, the actual track being placed on the channel. So you actually can hear how it's being placed. Is it used as a background, a featured? Is it on a commercial? Where is this thing being placed? So that's really powerful as well. And of course, we're going to get access to, I'll scroll all the way back up if I can. We're going to get access to these Spotify links. So we actually can listen to these tracks in full. So if you're wanting to know which tracks are getting placed the most, which tracks get the longest placements from which libraries, and you want to actually just pay attention to them, listen to them, and potentially use them as reference tracks, you're going to get access to that through this app. Okay, so this is the kind of data that we start with, right? This is just the beginning of what we can really do with this application. The next phase, after I've gathered all of these tracks and all of this data, is I go and tag these tracks to assign them genres, moods, the instruments, the key, the BPM. Is it instrumental? Is it vocal? Is it male? Is it female vocals? That kind of thing. So once we have some sort of categorizations and some tags associated with this music, that's when the interesting part happens, because now we can pull out specific trends. We can know which TV shows are getting specific types of placements, which TV channels have specific type of placements, and more importantly, which production music libraries are getting what types of particular placements the most, right? Maybe particular genres they're doing better at, particular moods, BPMs, keys, instrumental or vocal. All of this stuff is soon to be open to you. Veil will be open. All of this data will be immediately accessible to you. So you can do this kind of market research for current data. Okay, this isn't happening a year ago, 2 years ago, 5 years ago. Essentially how this app is going to work is every single month, I'm going to be going through and grabbing a whole new set of probably around 100,000 or more new placements from these 10 channels. And my hope is to add more channels as time goes on. We're going to start, smaller in the beginning. but that every single month we're going to have new data updated on the app. So you're going to find out now what was just happening in our industry, but the following month, that data gets wiped out and we have fresh data, new trends, new insights. And then as the months and maybe years go on with this app, we can get overall insights for trends for which genres are getting more popular, which moods are getting more popular, and vice versa. So you know for sure how to stay on top of the trends. And more importantly, the last power feature of this app is your ability to basically upload any track of yours that you want to, that you've created, and have this same model tag your music, right? And then pair you, based on those tags, with these tracks that you see right in front of you. Which tracks, which libraries, which TV shows, which networks have recently used music using very similar tags to yours, okay? So that'll let you know exactly where you fit into this marketplace, and it'll give you direct links to these libraries, to these production companies. So if you want to reach out to them and give a sort of, a submission or a pitch to them, you're not doing it blindly anymore. You're not doing it with, well, I hope I could get some placements and they seem like a cool company. We'll see what happens. Up until this app, we have been blindly stabbing in the dark in this business largely and just taking our best guess and hoping that something is the right fit for somebody. We get to solve that problem as of the release of this app, again, called Sync Match. So just giving you a little behind the scenes look here. If you have any further questions about it, any other insights or any other points of interest you have for the app, please comment below, email me. I am certainly still in the last minute molding this thing together and making some last minute changes. And I anticipate it will evolve in the coming months as we release it publicly and allow you guys to start playing around with it and see what's possible. But it is going to be powerful and it's going to be extremely affordable. Okay, I am planning and mapping our kind of business model out with this to make sure that every single licensing producer that's serious about getting their tracks placed can afford to get access to this data. Okay, so don't worry about that. You will be able to afford this. I can guarantee you that. So that's how we're planning this, and I will definitely give you those details, obviously, as we release it, I would say in the next week or two. So it's coming soon, and I'm really, really stoked for this. So we'll give you guys more updates probably in the next couple days.